Alrighty, so today we're going to be creating a maths machine. So this is going to be able to allow us to choose an option of dividing two numbers, multiplying two numbers, and adding and subtracting two numbers. So you can change it however you like later on, but this is going to get you an understanding of how to do it and how to create a basic program. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to include, okay, so include and then iOS dream. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to include, and we're going to be using namespace uh, name sorry namespace std, and then now we're going to use int main. Okay, we obviously need to return an output pretty much. Alright, so this line here allows us to write, for instance, cout, so console out, without having to put it like that. So it is less time consuming when we have it just as cout instead of have to put std and two colons. Okay, so as described before, we're going to create a program that accepts in numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is initialize our variables. Okay, we're going to accept number 1 and number 2. We're going to also we require a total, okay, or the answer. Okay, and we also require a variable to allow us to choose our option. So we're going to say option, and I'm just going to declare it as a 0 for now, and there's our column. Now I could simply just have written int and then the name like that on every single one, like that. However, it does take up more lines than is necessary than putting all our ints together. But obviously you don't want to go excessive, so you don't want to have it going across so many times. You want it to be readable, so like having numbers put together that work one program part, put it together. Uh, you know, so this will be dealing with numbers in the machine, in the math machine. Okay, so that's why I put it there. So if I were to create something that deals with hamburgers being sold, I could easily just say int hamburger, okay, and whatnot, and just keep working off like that. Alright, so we can see that we're getting an error, and that is now fixed. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to create the loop. Now it's not going to work until I'm accepting a value that initializes our option. So the way we're going to do this is with a while loop. So we're going to say while option does not equal 5. So the reason why we don't want it to equal 5 is because 5 will be the exit button, but 1 to 4 will be multiplication, addition, subtraction, and addition. Okay? So inside we're going to have a nested if statement. So if option is equal to 1, so if I type in number 1, then we're going to say, okay, what we're going to say is please enter in two numbers to be added together. Okay, now notice at the end I'm giving a space. That is so I can enter a number directly next to it that is not connected, so it makes it more readable. And I'm using the term flush. That means that the line has been read and completed, however we're staying on the same line. Now sin console in means that we're putting something in a variable. So I'm going to say number 1. Okay, so we're putting whatever's entered as number 1. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, except a little different. Okay, so copy, paste it right here. Please enter in your second number. Okay, and obviously this will have to be a number 2. So I'm going to save it for now, and I'm just going to right click, and in Visual Studio Code and most other IDEs, there are things that allow it to format the document. So it just format it for me and makes it more neater, and just save it. Okay, so yeah, we have this running, but nothing's really happening. Okay, so now we gotta initialize what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna say, so console out, we're gonna say, um, we're gonna say the numbers. So I'm gonna say to string, and then the name, which is number 1, plus, and then again to string. Actually, before then, I'm gonna write an actual plus and make sure I have a little space, and then another plus to string number 2 equals, and then we're gonna say answer. Okay, equals, and what does it equal? It equals to string plus answer. Okay, now this can be a little hard to understand what's going on, but to simplify it, what it's telling us is it's converting an integer into a number so we can print it out on the same line. Okay, if I didn't do it like this, obviously I would have to write number 1, okay, and then that again, and then a new line, and then another again, like that. But instead I use the plus symbol so I can add things together. Now we obviously need to run it and see if it works, but we also got to say what answer is equal to. So answer is equal to number 1 plus number 2. Okay, like so. Now, the real question is, alright, so the real question is, this is a little trippy, NUMBER underscore number 2. Oh, okay, I must have spelled it incorrectly. Alright, so the way we access this is through option. Now, we're going to say, right out the bat, please enter an option. Now, obviously, I'm gonna change this up a bit later, with all the options, but we're just gonna be testing it for now. So I'm just going to run it and see if it gives me the correct output. So I'm gonna open up MSYS2, okay, and I'm gonna open the file. So that is compiling it, and it's telling me it's successful, and now I'm going to run it. Please enter an option. If I go number 1, please enter in 2 numbers to be added together. I'm going to say 2 and 2. Now 2 plus 2 equals 4. So now we can understand what is happening here. We are saying that toString means it's just giving us the number. Again, the plus symbol is not adding them together, and toString here is telling us. Because if we had it like this, okay, if we had it in the one line, it's just going to add the numbers together. So it's going to be 2 plus 2, and pretty much it will display number 4 instead. So it'll be 4 here, or you might even get an error, to be honest. Sometimes it doesn't turn out that right. Alright, so we're just going to exit this now since we've run it and seen that it works. So now we got to think, what are we going to do to make the rest of them work? So we can use an if statement again, but I'm just going to say else if, okay? And then option is equal to 2. Now if it's equal to 2, we want to do subtraction. But to make it easier on us, we're just going to copy and paste. So this is pretty much what you do, and change it. Please enter in 2 numbers to be subtracted. So change that to be subtracted. And then obviously this will change from each other. Please enter in your second number. This symbol will have to change to a takeaway sign, and likewise to this one, minus sign. So I'm gonna.
We're going to get Anthony.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to compile it, run it. Option will be number 2. Please enter 2 numbers, so 2 and a 3. Let's say -1, and that is correct. So we can see that we can enter in. Alright, so that's a problem I'm gonna fix later on, but obviously for another time. Alright, so what we need to do now is we're going to create another option. So I'm just gonna copy the lot, enter. If option is number 3, we're gonna do multiplied by, to be multiplied by each other. Now this, I'm going to change it to a big capital X, and this will be the star sign. So to get the star sign, it's a shift and a number 8. Okay, and once more, number 4. Again, please enter instead divided by each other. This will be a slash, and this slash as well. I'm gonna have to put that as. Now I'm gonna save this. Okay, I'm gonna go into the file, and if you want to know what I'm doing to get all these commands up, I'm just clicking the up arrow until it does what I say. So I'm gonna say option number 4, 32, and I want to divide it by 2 is 16. 16 times 2. Okay, so now that we're running it and it's doing all this, okay, how do I change the option? Well, you need to declare it a bit after. Okay, so let's take a look. Actually, we're gonna create our last option. So else if option. Oh, actually, let's leave it like that. And what we're gonna do is, I really need to fix that problem because exiting and opening it up again is delaying us significantly. It's meant to be a 5, but if you enter a 5, so while option does not equal 5, so if it does equal 5, the while loop is just terminated. So we're also going to include an option of 5. So else if option is equal to 5, we're going to say by. Okay, and we're going to use end line command. Okay, so while option is not equal to 5, if, else, if, else, if, else, if, else, if. Okay? Now, I'm going to say else. Okay, so else. I'm just going to say that for now and see what happens. Okay, and then we're obviously going to take in option. Alright, so let's give this a little run, and I'm going to give it an incorrect value. Okay, so if I go 8, what if I go number 5? Okay, so you know, it didn't work as well as I'd hope. Okay, if option equals 5, okay, so this isn't working that line. Okay, so usually else is when it says by. So just gonna say, let's see if this works. Not entirely sure if it will. Go number 5. No. Okay. So yeah, fair enough. It's not working right now. We've got to fix it up a bit later. But at the moment, this is pretty much the basics of what you need to create a working math machine. Now, we can fix this, and I'll go through it in my next video. Given that it's a bit late, I won't spend too much time on this. But in my next video, I'll be teaching you how to fix up the code. We're going to put more comments in so you understand each line. And we're going to create a little thing that allows us to change our option after you know, pursuing one option. So we got to do that, and that's pretty much all I'm going through today. And now this is a complete this is a working math machine, alright, but it's a basic one for now. And you know, with time it advances, and so we just need to take our time. So during the video, I recommend that you should have paused, copied as I went, and you know, just take it easy. And the best way to learn is to pretty much Google search, or you know, work off others, understand how people are using different types of things to understand what's going on. Like I have never used IOStream. I used to use Splashkit, and so to learn IOStream, I pretty much just read into it and picked it up along the way. So it's all about picking up things that you've never learnt before and implementing it. Sorry about that. And implementing it in your own code. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment if you need any help or any clarifications. Thank you. Bye.